Hello, good day. It is my honor to present to you our paper evaluating the impact of oral health education among pupils of Ilang-Ilang Child Development Center in Giginto, Bulacan. Presented by these researchers, I myself, Michelle Hoxon, as the principal investigator, together with Ms. Crystal Alvarez, Mr. Lander Navarrete, and Ms. Rain Julian Piliado. Moving forward, here is the outline of our presentation, starting with the background and literature review. Next is the purpose and objectives, methodology, results, discussion, scope and delimitations, and lastly, conclusion. Background of the study. Oral health education provides information to improve awareness that may influence the adoption of a healthier lifestyle, good oral health behavior, and a more positive attitude. Increase in this knowledge through health education was found to not only to favorably influence self-reported oral health practices and behavior, but also clinical measures of oral health like oral hygiene, gingival health, and dental caries were also improved.
What we know today, child care facilities are made to accommodate young children's emotional needs and developmental needs. The pupils in Barangay Ilang-Ilang already experience fluoride varnish and were taught about proper toothbrushing. The oral health-related quality of life among pupils of Ilang-Ilang Child Development Center in Giginto, Bulacan is also unknown. Therefore, it is important to assess the impact of oral health education among pupils in order to provide insight into the different strategies that can be used to improve the oral health education program and overall oral health of the pupils. Purpose of the study. The purpose of the study is to assess the knowledge, behavior, and attitude of students regarding oral health practices to determine the effectiveness of oral health education. Objectives of the study. Number 1, to assess the knowledge level of pupils regarding oral health. Number 2, to determine the oral hygiene practices and how it affects their well-being. Number 3, to identify the factors that can influence effective oral health education among pupils. Number 4, to determine the changes of social behavior of the pupils in relation to their oral hygiene. Number 5, to provide proper oral health education to parents for proper guidance to their children. Methodology. The study utilizes a descriptive method to emphasize the current conditions of the teeth, diet, fluoride exposure, decades, and other relevant information. Total population sampling was used to examine the entire population of Ilang-Ilang Child Development Center. The overall student population is 80 daycare pupils ranging from 4 to 6 years old and are enrolled in 2023 to 2024 academic year. Results. Table 1 shows the respondents' age and gender. The name of the respondent has been carried out by the researchers for their safety and as part of the agreement when they signed the informed consent. According to Table 1.1, 40% of the respondents are 4 years old who answered the questionnaire with the guidance of their parents. On the other hand, 32.5% of the respondents are in the age bracket of 5 and 27.5% of them are from the age bracket of 6 years old. As for Table 1.2, male respondents had 42.5% and 57.5% for female respondents. Therefore, the majority of the respondents of the present study are 4 years old. Most of them are female respondents.
Table 2 shows the answer of the respondents to the question, is it necessary to keep your oral health healthy? Which is under the statement of the problem, how does oral health education affect children? As per the answers of the respondents, 100% or all of them stated that it is necessary to keep oral health healthy by ticking the yes part in the survey questionnaires. This indicates that the respondents, as well as the parents who facilitate them, know the importance of having healthy oral health. Table 3 shows the compilation of answers of the respondents when it comes to the questions that are under the statement of the problem, what are the oral hygiene practices that the pupils carry out. This indicates that majority of the respondents are still believing that it is necessary for them to brush their teeth 3 times a day, also necessary to regularly rinse their mouth with water after each meal to remove food remnants trapped between teeth, necessary to rinse their mouth using mouthwash after brushing your teeth, and necessary to use dental floss after brushing your teeth. Table 4 shows the compilation of answers of the respondents when it comes to the questions that are under the statement of the problem. What factors influence a pupil's access to preventive dental care? This means that the majority of the respondents still think that brushing can prevent oral diseases, using dental floss can prevent oral diseases, and avoiding sweet foods and sugary drinks can also prevent oral diseases. Table 5 shows the question that is under the statement of the problem: does oral hygiene affect the social behavior of the pupils? 78 respondents, or 97.5%, agreed that taking foods and drinks with sugars such as sweets, chewing gums, and soft drinks regularly without brushing their teeth is harmful to their teeth.
Table 6. How does appearance knowledge in oral health care affect their children? It shows that the last questionnaire associated with the last statement of the problem, that is, how does appearance knowledge in oral health care affect their children? 79 of the respondents, or 98.75%, believe that it is necessary to go for a dental checkup at least twice a year, and only one of them disagreed with the statement. Discussion. Results were made that the majority of respondents are in the age bracket R4 and are mostly female. Another result of the survey shows that all of the respondents are believing that it is necessary to keep a healthy oral health, and majority of them believe that they should brush their teeth 3 times a day. Regularly rinse their mouth with water after meals, use mouthwash after brushing their teeth, and also use dental floss. In addition, the majority of the respondents believe in the power of brushing, using dental floss, and avoiding sweet foods and sugary drinks in order to prevent oral diseases. Most of the respondents also believe that taking foods and drinks with sugar are harmful to their teeth, and also the majority of them stated that it is necessary to go at least 2 times a year for dental checkup. However, concerning the extent of oral hygiene practice among pupils, an overview of the pupils' understanding of oral health indicated that certain oral hygiene practices are at risk, and the students need to be educated in order to continue practicing proper oral hygiene. Aggregate data indicated the participants possess a moderate level of knowledge about oral health, which also reflected their predisposition toward practicing good oral health hygiene. Scope and delimitation. So it uses a small sample size, and the respondents are pupils from ages 4 to 6 in Ilang-Ilang Child Developmental Center. And they are currently living in Barangay Ilang-Ilang for more than 3 years. Conclusion. Based on the summary of findings, the following conclusions have been made. All the respondents, as well as the parents who facilitate them, know the importance of having healthy oral health. Majority of the respondents are still believing that it is necessary for them to brush their teeth 3 times a day. Also necessary to regularly rinse their mouth with water after each meal to remove food remnants trapped between teeth. Necessary to rinse their mouth using mouthwash after brushing your teeth, and necessary to use dental floss after brushing their teeth. So for the majority of the respondents, still think that brushing can prevent oral diseases. Using dental floss can prevent oral disease, and avoiding sweet foods and sugary drinks can also prevent oral diseases. A majority agreed that taking foods and drinks with sugar, such as sweets, chewing gums, and soft drinks regularly without brushing their teeth is harmful to their teeth, and that it is necessary to go for a dental checkup at least twice a year.
Thank you for listening. It has been an honor to present our research to our distinguished panelists. We hope this presentation has piqued your interest and engagement. Thank you once again and have a great day.